Well, to no one's surprise that has actually followed the Denver Nuggets for the last few years, they are absolutely terrible this season. But what we are seeing thus far through these early games could end up being historic ass in the form of one of the worst benches of all time. Okay, is that a tad bit hyperbolic? Perhaps. Is it a little early on in the season to make these grandiose declarations? Probably. Yet and still, this Denver bench is putrid, and there is little hope for improvement moving forward. The Nuggets are now 0-2 for the season following a demolition in Game 1 at the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder and a disappointing home loss to the Clippers. The Nuggets, who didn't particularly have a good bench a year ago, got even thinner when they lost starter Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to Orlando this summer and decided to promote Christian Braun from the sixth-man role into the starting two-guard spot. They then, a team that was thin on the bench a year ago and needed more three-point shooting, went out and signed 35-year-old Russell Westbrook, coming off of a career-worst year with the Clippers. And yeah, that seemed like a risky move that made little sense at the time, and accordingly, he has proven to be a complete train wreck through 2 games, as has this entire Nuggets bench. In 2 games now, no one on the Nuggets bench has registered a positive plus-minus for either game. And their sixth man, Russell Westbrook, is a team worst minus 37. That is in only 40 minutes played during that time, meaning the Nuggets are getting outscored practically by a point per every minute he is on the floor. Russell Westbrook, meanwhile, has been out in full force for these first 2 games, shooting 2 of 18 from the field and 1 of 9 from the three-point line thus far. And actually, every single Nuggets starter registered a positive plus-minus in their 109-104 loss to the Clippers, led by Nikola Jokic with a team-high +7 for the night, while he scored 41 points and hit a career-high 7 three-pointers. Unfortunately for Denver, Peyton Watson led the bench unit on the night with a -7, and the other 3 players that came off the bench for the Nuggets were all -12 or worse. The Clippers, meanwhile, had only 1 starter register a positive on the night, which was James Harden with a +3. All other starters for LA were in the negative. But this is going to be a pervasive theme all year long for this Nuggets team, getting absolutely demolished anytime their starters, in particular Jokic, goes to the bench. It's been a pervasive theme for years now, and they continue to move in the wrong direction. The Nuggets bench so far this season are shooting a collective 10 of 46 from the field, which is good for just a shade under 22% and are averaging just 13.5 points per game combined. Seriously, in a word, ass. And when your bench is this abysmal, you had better have the best starters in basketball if you want to be a viable contender. And well, they do have the best player in basketball with Nikola Jokic, but little else beside him. Jamal Murray, 17 points per game so far, 4.5 assists and 4 rebounds on just over 40% shooting from the field. Yeah, he's making now $50 million per year for the next 4 years. And you would think it would be absolutely impossible to somehow find a player in the entire NBA that is both simultaneously worse and more overpaid than Jamal Murray. But incredibly, the bumbling moron front office of the Denver Nuggets have found a way to get one on this same roster. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Michael Porter Jr., who has been playing every game since the Timberwolves series in last year's postseason like his brother Jonte Porter with money on the line. Michael Porter Jr. this season is averaging 12 points per game on 30% shooting from the field and 18.7% from the three-point line. This scrub, whose literal only skill set after all of these years in the league remains basically that of a spot-up three-point shooter, is shooting 3 of 16 from the three-point line this season. Yeah, he's making $36 million this season. The Nuggets are paying these guys like they are perennial all-stars, while neither of them have made a single all-star appearance in their entire careers and are regressing before our very eyes. Speaking though of overpaid players, the Nuggets have also recently committed another $133 million over 4 years to Aaron Gordon, who is averaging 11 points per game this season on 36% shooting from the field. The worst bench in the league, with all of this money committed to all of these subpar starters and committed to them for years. The Nuggets possess one of the very worst teams in the NBA, and there is absolutely no way to improve their situation anytime this season or for the foreseeable future. Removing Nikola Jokic from this lineup would result in a literal 20-win team. From winning the NBA championship 2 years ago, while having a guy who has won 3 of the last 4 league MVPs, this team will be lucky to make the play-in tournament this season. So perhaps Nuggets general manager Calvin Booth is the real piece of historic ass in this entire Nuggets equation.